Okay, we're at step 6, which is shading. So this step right here, make sure you've done all of these other steps and you've gotten signatures before you move on. All right, so we're at the last part of this. The last part, the most complicated part, of course. You want to reference the different pencil techniques that you tried and the sheet where it shows you which pencil gives you which value, that shading sheet, because it'll help you decide what to do here. So now I'm ready to start actually shading on here. I've got my reference photo so I can look at this to decide which pencil I want to use where. All right, so I'm just going to start. So the goal of shading, we know, is to make our objects look three-dimensional. So the first thing I want to do is I don't want these quadrant lines anymore because that certainly is not going to help make things look 3D. So I'm going to erase these lightly, or you can shade right over them depending on how dark the value needs to be. So if you have a place that's white, like completely white in your reference photo, that is going to stay the white of the paper. If you have something that's like completely black in your reference photo, that will be shaded in with your darkest pencil, which for most of us is the ebony pencil. Okay, so got that erased. So I'm ready to start shading. I'm going to start with, I usually recommend when people are starting to shade to start with the darker pencils, like the B pencil. So I'm going to start in this section right here on this bottle, or vase, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so the goal of shading is to use short, controlled pencil strokes, fill in with value, and what you want to do is get rid of all those outlines by kind of filling in. So I'm thinking about all those different pencil techniques, like where you might push down harder, use the tip of the pencil, or use the side of the pencil, depending on if you have texture. So I'm filling in. So I was using switching up my pencils here. I was using the 5B pencil, which is my most favorite. I like it because you can get it sharp, the pencil sharpener, so you can get like a nice crisp edge, but you can also get it still really dark. So I'm thinking about directional shading as I'm filling in here. So the top of this bottle, I kind of hope you noticed, I turned the way I was holding the pencil. Filling in. So there's actually some stronger shadows up here, so what I did was I kind of put down like a first value, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to layer some more graphite right on the top. So is this a process, like a fast, speedy process where you'll finish in one class period? No. It's going to take a little bit of time. There are two other tools that are available to you to use. One is called a blending stump, and this is for smudging graphite. So if you had a spot where it needed to be like a little bit softer, you can use this tool to kind of smudge so it looks a little bit softer. I can show you this over here too. It's like, you have to have graphite down though. You can't do this without having pencil down first. So then you can kind of go over that, see how it kind of smudges it. Okay, that's a smudging stick. You can use, there's different sizes of these. You can clean these off by using abrasive paper and just kind of like sanding off the end. If you need that abrasive paper, just come see me. And then the other tool I have is a kneaded eraser, and these are pretty cool because you can use these to kind of tap down. So let's say you shaded something too dark and you needed to erase it. You can actually just like tap down and you can lift up some of that value, and it kind of gets on the eraser. Then you sort of like knead that all up again. You can also form these. So like I missed a couple of these little highlight spots. I can go back and I can erase them back in carefully. You know, they're not gonna erase ebony pencil, but you'll be able to kind of get some of the erasing done there. So I can then shade around that little highlight if I'd like again. Okay. So good luck. I'm obviously not going to finish this during the video. It's going to take me a little bit of time, but good luck. Do your best work, and please see me with questions.